These beautiful folk songs by the Maasai women welcome us here. This is Ilngwesi Cultural Village in Laikipia County, northern Kenya. In this arid dry land, dotted with beautiful acacia trees, is a unique story about the Ilngwesi community, the home of the Laikipiaks, a sub-tribe of the Maasai. The chairperson of the Ilngwesi community, Kip Polos, gives us a brief about the community.
Right now, I am proud to say I'm a Laikipiak. I'm proud to say that at least something is known. The county is named after us. The culture, we live in a tug-of-war kind of life where we are trying to catch up with the life that everyone else is while trying to hold on to the culture. But I must say we are one clan that accommodates people from other tribes.
Ironically, we are meant to understand that the word Ilngwesi means people of wildlife. But how big is this population?
The population of Ilngwesi members is 2,800 members. Those are the people that are on the register, and I mean boys and girls, or men and women for that perspective. And I'm talking about people who are over 18 years. So if really I was to include the little kids, probably will go to 5,000. This village, this is where we display our culture. It's the nearest to the lodge, which means our guests can come and experience the culture. They can even spend a night here, do what the locals do. And it helps us not only as an income generating project, but also it supports the culture that is vanishing so fast.
He says within the Ilngwesi Conservancy, there are 2 settlements.
I would start by saying this is one of the settlement areas. We have 2 settlement areas within the community land, and this is one. And on this particular one, this is where we display our culture, which is the Maasai culture. And we have within the Conservancy, we have the conservation area where no one is allowed to build a house or to live in there. You are only allowed in a given time to bring your herd of cattle in a given time of the year or a month. It's pretty much controlled because you need to control grazing. You think of land and you think of the livestock, which is our bank. This village, this is where we display our culture. It's the nearest to the lodge, which means our guests can come and experience the culture. They can even spend a night here, do what the locals do, and it helps us not only as an income generating project, but also it supports the culture that is vanishing so fast.
Here, you appreciate a fusion of ancient ways and modernity, and above all, peaceful coexistence between communities and wildlife. But how can one preserve their culture?
One, you've got to love it. You've got to be innovative to think of how can somebody benefit out of it, because it would not be fair. It can be so unfair if you told somebody to live in a hut like this while you're living, in a mansionate and they're not earning a living. So there is a symbiotic relation between conservation, tourism, and the culture.
Kip, however, admits that conserving their culture in this day and age is not easy.
I wouldn't say that we are able to hold on to it 100%. It's vanishing so fast. How I grew up, I was born in a little house like this, and my kids now, they don't believe that I ever lived in here. That means they've never lived in that hut. But tourism and conservation is really helping because it's creating job opportunities, which makes people remain back here at home, and they understand the benefits of living this life. They understand that for us, everyone is contributing towards our goals. I can give an example of a clinic, school bursaries. A lady or a kid living in this village know that in one way or the other they're contributing towards the funds that are built clinics and are paying for school bursaries, because if a client comes here, they pay. That money goes into the Ilngwesi company account and it goes back to the community, and the community themselves decides on what they spend money on.
This coexistence and their way of life is a tourist attraction, and indeed, Many tourists, especially from abroad, cannot help but visit this place.
This is Ilngwesi community. These are pastoralists and they're living here in the Ilngwesi Conservancy in Laikipia County, Kenya.
After visiting this place, one can surely believe that tourism and conservation can play a critical role in preservation of culture. Just before we leave, it is time for some of us to join in the dance.